Beneath the vast landscapes of India lie relics of civilizations long forgotten, silent witnesses to histories erased from memory. Hidden deep within dense forests, perched atop remote hills, or buried under layers of earth, stand temples that seem untouched by time. Their towering spires and intricately carved walls speak of an era when architecture was not only art but a vessel of knowledge. Yet, despite centuries of study, these wonders remain cloaked in mystery. Modern science can describe how stones were shaped and walls constructed, but it cannot fully explain why such precision exists, why cosmic alignments are embedded in stone, or why these temples disappear from history altogether. These are not mere ruins. They are enigmas, monuments that whisper of forgotten kingdoms and knowledge lost to the ages. Some speak of kings who ruled with wisdom beyond recorded history, others of secret orders guarding truths the world is not ready to know. Legends passed down through generations speak of temples that hold maps to the stars, gateways to other dimensions, and codes of ancient science hidden within sacred carvings. Tonight, we begin a journey into these shadows, into the heart of India's forgotten temples. This is a voyage where history collides with myth, where science meets the inexplicable, and where every stone might conceal a secret. Prepare to step beyond the veil of recorded history and enter a world where the past refuses to be forgotten, and mysteries defy explanation. Long before modern maps drew the boundaries of nations, India was a tapestry of kingdoms, vast, diverse, and powerful. Some flourished for centuries, their influence stretching far beyond their borders, while others vanished almost without a trace. The temples they left behind are perhaps the last tangible echoes of their grandeur. To understand these forgotten sanctuaries, we must first step into the history of kingdoms erased by time, war, and deliberate forgetting. The records speak of empires such as the Cholas, Pallavas, and Mauryas, dynasties celebrated in stone inscriptions, epics, and surviving ruins. But there are whispers of even older realms, kingdoms that do not appear in conventional history books. Oral traditions, local legends, and hidden carvings tell of civilizations that existed thousands of years before recorded history began. Many of these kingdoms were said to possess knowledge of astronomy, mathematics, and engineering that rivaled, and in some ways surpassed, modern understanding. These civilizations were not simply builders, they were keepers of hidden wisdom. Their temples were more than places of worship, they were living libraries, repositories of sacred knowledge encoded in stone. Some historians argue that the temples were constructed to preserve this knowledge for future generations, hidden within layers of symbolism, geometry, and cosmic alignment. Others suggest they were part of a vast network of sacred sites designed to channel energy and knowledge across the land. The mystery deepens when we realize that many of these temples appear to have been abandoned suddenly, without clear records of decline. Some vanished with entire kingdoms, leaving behind only stone monuments that defy the understanding of their era. Was this erasure accidental, a result of conquest or natural catastrophe, or deliberate, an intentional concealment of knowledge too dangerous for the world? In this section, we set the stage for our journey. We look beyond textbooks and embrace the possibility that India's lost kingdoms were not merely political powers, but guardians of a hidden heritage. This background will guide us deeper into the heart of the mystery, where architecture, myth, and forgotten science intertwine, leading us to temples that are far more than they seem. Step closer to these forgotten temples, and the first thing that strikes the eye is the perfection. Every stone seems placed with a purpose beyond mere construction. Every carving, every alignment, every axis appears deliberate, an intricate language written in stone. Modern architects and archaeologists marvel at the precision, but few can fully explain how such monumental structures were built without modern tools. The temples stand as silent witnesses to engineering that surpasses their own era, and the deeper we look, the more questions emerge. Some temples are aligned so precisely with celestial bodies that even the most advanced technology today struggles to match. Structures built to capture the position of the sun on solstices, alignments that correspond with distant stars, and carvings that seem to encode astronomical knowledge all hint at something extraordinary. How did ancient builders achieve such accuracy without telescopes or advanced measuring tools? Was this knowledge handed down from a forgotten age, or was there an understanding of the cosmos lost to time? But the mystery extends beyond alignment. The scale of craftsmanship is staggering. Massive stones, some weighing hundreds of tons, were carved, transported, and assembled with astonishing precision. In some sites, stones fit together so perfectly that even the thinnest sheet of paper cannot pass between them. These structures have survived centuries of earthquakes, weather, and human intervention, with their details still intact. Modern science calls this durability remarkable, but offers no full explanation for the techniques used. Inside these temples, the mysteries multiply. Intricate sculptures depict figures and symbols that blend geometry with sacred meaning, forming patterns that many researchers believe are coded knowledge. Acoustics within certain chambers are engineered so precisely that even the faintest sound resonates across vast spaces. Could these features have served not just aesthetic or spiritual purposes, but a deeper function, perhaps related to forgotten science, healing, or cosmic communication? Contrasts deepen the intrigue. While mainstream archaeology explains temple construction through known craftsmanship and religious purpose, alternative theories propose a different reality, one where these monuments were designed as energy hubs, astronomical observatories, or even machines. Each theory opens a doorway into speculation, but none can fully capture the scope of these enigmas. To walk through these temples is to step into a dialogue between fact and mystery. Every pillar and carving whispers questions about the limits of human achievement. Were these masterpieces simply the product of skilled artisans, or remnants of knowledge lost when their kingdoms disappeared? As we move deeper into this journey, architecture becomes a language, a message carved into stone across centuries, waiting for someone to decode it. This section leaves us with a question that will echo through our exploration: could these temples be more than monuments? Could they be the last echoes of a civilization whose knowledge science still cannot explain? Step inside the heart of these ancient temples, and the surface beauty gives way to deeper enigmas. They are more than stone and sculpture, they are monuments to questions that refuse to be answered. They stand at the intersection of science and myth, faith and technology, history and mystery, a reminder that some truths may lie forever beyond our reach. Through centuries, these temples have witnessed the rise and fall of kingdoms, the shifting of civilizations, and the erasure of entire histories. They have survived invasions, natural disasters, and the slow erosion of time, carrying within them not only art and devotion but possibly knowledge too profound for the ages. Their hidden carvings, cosmic alignments, and precise craftsmanship suggest a story that is still incomplete, a story humanity has yet to fully understand. The tension between what we know and what we cannot explain is the heart of their mystery. Mainstream science offers explanations rooted in craftsmanship and tradition, yet anomalies persist that defy conventional logic. Myths and legends speak of lost kingdoms, secret knowledge, and hidden guardianship. Modern discoveries deepen the intrigue, but every new answer births yet another question. Perhaps this is why the temples endure, not merely as relics, but as living mysteries. They invite us to look beyond the surface, to question the narratives we accept, and to imagine the possibility that the past is far richer than history alone can tell. They challenge us to consider that knowledge can be hidden not just in books, but in stone, in geometry, in alignment with the stars. The forgotten temples of India are not simply monuments of the past, they are invitations to wonder. They remind us that history is not fixed, but a living mystery waiting to be explored. Whether they are the remnants of lost kingdoms, guardians of forbidden knowledge, or monuments built with wisdom we have yet to comprehend, they continue to stand as timeless enigmas. Their silence is their call. And those who listen may find themselves on a path that leads not just to answers, but to deeper mysteries, ones that stretch beyond time itself. Every carving, every sculpted panel, every hidden niche seems to tell a story that goes beyond religion or art. Scholars describe them as symbols of faith, but many researchers believe they encode a language of forgotten knowledge, an archive of wisdom hidden in plain sight. The walls become more than stone, they transform into cryptic manuscripts written in geometry, symbols, and allegory. From the intricate mandalas to strange glyphs etched into pillars, the symbolism invites interpretation. Some carvings depict cosmic maps, aligning the temple with celestial patterns. Others are said to contain representations of advanced mathematical principles, including fractals and complex geometry. Could these be ancient codes? A message left by architects to preserve knowledge for the future? This possibility has sparked fascination and controversy among historians. Local legends add another layer to the mystery. In certain temples, priests and elders speak of secret chambers where ancient knowledge is stored, rooms that vanish or remain undiscovered despite centuries of excavation. These chambers, they say, are not just physical spaces but gateways to deeper wisdom, a knowledge too sacred or dangerous to reveal. Such claims blur the line between myth and reality. Contrast becomes essential here. Mainstream archaeology tends to interpret symbolism as religious or decorative, tied to the myths and practices of the time. Alternative theories argue these carvings are part of an advanced system of communication, knowledge encoded in a way only initiates or the worthy could understand. Some even suggest that these temples were designed as giant memory devices, preserving the science and philosophy of lost civilizations for generations to come. This hidden symbolism raises profound questions. If these carvings were indeed more than decoration, what was the purpose behind hiding knowledge in stone? Was it to protect sacred truths from those not prepared to receive them, or a way to pass wisdom across the ages? And if such knowledge exists, why have so few scholars uncovered it? The secrecy only deepens the allure of these temples, drawing explorers, historians, and seekers alike into their shadowy halls. As we move forward, the carvings stand as a reminder: these temples are not just relics of the past, but living puzzles. Their walls whisper secrets of forgotten science, lost cultures, and a language humanity has yet to fully understand. They challenge us to look beyond the surface, to question not just what we see, but what remains hidden. Every stone in these forgotten temples seems to hum with stories passed down through generations, stories that blur the line between history and myth. In villages near these ancient ruins, elders still speak of gods who walked the earth, kings with wisdom beyond comprehension, and orders sworn to guard secrets of the universe. These myths are not mere fairy tales, they are woven into the identity of these temples, offering clues to truths that history has yet to fully uncover. One recurring theme in these legends is the idea of divine craftsmanship. Some tales claim the temples were built under the guidance of celestial beings or gods, gifted with knowledge that mortals could never master alone. Others speak of kings who ruled with a divine mandate, tasked with preserving knowledge that could shape the fate of mankind. These narratives, whether literal truth or metaphor, speak of an extraordinary relationship between power, faith, and knowledge. The myths also hint at hidden functions for these temples. In certain traditions, temples were said to be energy gateways, centers where cosmic forces converged. They are more than stone and sculpture, they are monuments to questions that refuse to be answered. They stand at the intersection of science and myth, faith and technology, history and mystery, a reminder that some truths may lie forever beyond our reach. Through centuries, these temples have witnessed the rise and fall of kingdoms, the shifting of civilizations, and the erasure of entire histories. They have survived invasions, natural disasters, and the slow erosion of time, carrying within them not only art and devotion but possibly knowledge too profound for the ages. Their hidden carvings, cosmic alignments, and precise craftsmanship suggest a story that is still incomplete, a story humanity has yet to fully understand. The tension between what we know and what we cannot explain is the heart of their mystery. Mainstream science offers explanations rooted in craftsmanship and tradition, yet anomalies persist that defy conventional logic. Myths and legends speak of lost kingdoms, secret knowledge, and hidden guardianship. Modern discoveries deepen the intrigue, but every new answer births yet another question. Perhaps this is why the temples endure, not merely as relics, but as living mysteries. They invite us to look beyond the surface, to question the narratives we accept, and to imagine the possibility that the past is far richer than history alone can tell. They challenge us to consider that knowledge can be hidden not just in books, but in stone, in geometry, in alignment with the stars. The forgotten temples of India are not simply monuments of the past, they are invitations to wonder. They remind us that history is not fixed, but a living mystery waiting to be explored. Whether they are the remnants of lost kingdoms, guardians of forbidden knowledge, or monuments built with wisdom we have yet to comprehend, they continue to stand as timeless enigmas. Their silence is their call. And those who listen may find themselves on a path that leads not just to answers, but to deeper mysteries, ones that stretch beyond time itself. Pilgrims and priests recounted stories of chambers that resonated with sound, carvings that came alive under specific celestial alignments, and secret rituals that unlocked hidden wisdom. Such tales suggest these sites were far more than religious structures, they were centers of knowledge, ritual, and cosmic connection. Yet myths themselves are puzzles. They challenge historians because they blend fact, symbolism, and allegory. Mainstream archaeology treats these stories as cultural heritage, interpreting them as symbolic expressions of spiritual belief. Alternative perspectives treat them as encoded memories of real events and technologies, preserved in metaphor so they could survive centuries without being destroyed. This contrast, the official narrative versus hidden meaning, keeps these temples at the heart of mystery. Perhaps the greatest allure of these myths is that they refuse to be fully explained. They leave us with questions. Were these stories a form of oral preservation for lost history? Did they serve as warnings about knowledge too dangerous to reveal? Or were they simply the spiritual imagination of ancient civilizations? Whatever the truth, the myths and legends surrounding these temples add another layer of intrigue, compelling us to look deeper into the stone, beyond history, into something that feels eternal. As we move forward, these myths will guide us, not as definitive answers, but as keys to understanding why these temples were built, why they were forgotten, and why their secrets still stir the imagination of every seeker who dares to listen. For centuries, scientists have approached India's forgotten temples with fascination, but also with puzzlement. These structures defy simple explanations. Archaeology can date stones and reconstruct basic histories, but it cannot fully account for the precision, purpose, or knowledge embedded in these monuments. Every discovery seems to deepen the mystery, forcing science to confront questions that challenge its own boundaries. One of the most baffling aspects is the dating of these temples. Some carbon datings and geological studies suggest origins far older than recorded history allows. In certain cases, stones appear weathered for thousands of years, yet inscriptions and carvings remain almost untouched. How could such delicate art survive millennia without erosion? Science struggles to explain this preservation, and every such anomaly adds to the temple's enigmatic aura. Another puzzle lies in their construction. Stones weighing several tons were transported across impossible distances, carved with precision so exact that modern engineering struggles to replicate it. No records exist to explain the tools or techniques used. Mainstream science suggests skilled artisans with simple tools, but alternative researchers propose far more extraordinary explanations: lost technology, advanced machinery, or knowledge erased from history. The temple's astronomical alignments are another challenge. Many structures correspond with celestial events with staggering accuracy, alignments to solstices, equinoxes, and distant stars that would require detailed astronomical calculations. How did ancient builders achieve such precision without telescopes or computers? Some scientists argue it is coincidental or symbolic, while others point to evidence of sophisticated ancient astronomy. Material composition is also a mystery. Certain stones appear to be polished in ways that defy modern science, with surfaces so smooth and perfectly cut that they suggest techniques beyond simple chiseling. In some sites, structural designs appear optimized for energy flow or resonance, suggesting intentional engineering rather than mere craftsmanship. Contrasts become sharper when we examine scientific approaches versus the unexplained. Science insists on evidence, reproducibility, and logic, yet these temples remain full of anomalies that defy all known explanations. Alternative perspectives argue these anomalies are evidence of knowledge deliberately hidden, perhaps to protect secrets too advanced for the world. The struggle to explain extends beyond the physical. Scientific studies cannot yet decode the deeper purpose of these temples. Were they purely places of worship, or were they laboratories, observatories, or energy centers? Were they designed to preserve a hidden science that modern humanity has forgotten? Science can measure stones and angles, but it cannot yet measure the mystery itself. This section leaves us at the edge of certainty, staring into the unknown. Science provides tools to explore the past, but the forgotten temples of India seem to exist partly outside those tools, silent monuments to knowledge humanity has yet to understand. As we continue, this tension between the measurable and the mysterious will lead us deeper into a world where science itself meets its limits. Beyond the stone and symbolism lies a question that haunts researchers and explorers alike: did these temples conceal a knowledge too advanced to survive the ages? This idea moves us beyond archaeology and into the realm of the extraordinary, suggestions that ancient civilizations possess technologies lost to history. These are not idle theories. The very design of these temples, their alignments, their hidden chambers, and encoded symbolism all point toward the possibility that they were built to preserve something profound. Some researchers propose that certain temples were more than spiritual centers, they were ancient laboratories, observatories, or even energy plants. Carvings and inscriptions hint at concepts that modern science is only beginning to understand: complex geometry, acoustic engineering, astronomy, and perhaps even energy transmission. Could these structures have been designed to harness and direct natural forces, turning stone into a kind of living technology? This idea challenges everything we think we know about ancient history. There are examples that stir the imagination. They are more than stone and sculpture, they are monuments to questions that refuse to be answered. They stand at the intersection of science and myth, faith and technology, history and mystery, a reminder that some truths may lie forever beyond our reach. Through centuries, these temples have witnessed the rise and fall of kingdoms, the shifting of civilizations, and the erasure of entire histories. They have survived invasions, natural disasters, and the slow erosion of time, carrying within them not only art and devotion but possibly knowledge too profound for the ages. Their hidden carvings, cosmic alignments, and precise craftsmanship suggest a story that is still incomplete, a story humanity has yet to fully understand. The tension between what we know and what we cannot explain is the heart of their mystery. Mainstream science offers explanations rooted in craftsmanship and tradition, yet anomalies persist that defy conventional logic. Myths and legends speak of lost kingdoms, secret knowledge, and hidden guardianship. Modern discoveries deepen the intrigue, but every new answer births yet another question. Perhaps this is why the temples endure, not merely as relics, but as living mysteries. They invite us to look beyond the surface, to question the narratives we accept, and to imagine the possibility that the past is far richer than history alone can tell. They challenge us to consider that knowledge can be hidden not just in books, but in stone, in geometry, in alignment with the stars. The forgotten temples of India are not simply monuments of the past, they are invitations to wonder. They remind us that history is not fixed, but a living mystery waiting to be explored. Whether they are the remnants of lost kingdoms, guardians of forbidden knowledge, or monuments built with wisdom we have yet to comprehend, they continue to stand as timeless enigmas. Their silence is their call. And those who listen may find themselves on a path that leads not just to answers, but to deeper mysteries, ones that stretch beyond time itself. Some temple chambers resonate with sound in ways that seem engineered for a purpose, acoustics so precise they could carry specific frequencies across vast spaces. Other temples feature layouts that align with astronomical events with remarkable accuracy, suggesting an understanding of the cosmos far beyond the tools of their time. These features cannot be easily dismissed as coincidence. They demand explanation. Material science adds another layer of mystery. Some stones are carved with such precision that even modern laser cutting struggles to match them. In certain cases, the edges of stone blocks are so smooth and exact that no known technique could replicate the work without advanced machinery. Could these methods be evidence of forgotten technology, hidden knowledge deliberately encoded within sacred architecture? Contrast is key to this mystery. Mainstream science tends to attribute these achievements to exceptional craftsmanship, cultural devotion, and long traditions of empirical knowledge. But alternative perspectives argue that these temples were designed to hide knowledge so powerful or dangerous that it could not be shared openly. This might explain why much of this knowledge vanished with the disappearance of their builders. Some myths support this idea. Local traditions speak of secret chambers where knowledge was stored, protected by guardians who could unlock it only when humanity was ready. Whether these stories are symbolic or factual, they add to the possibility that the temples were constructed as living archives, guardians of a science lost in time. The possibility of ancient technology forces us to rethink the relationship between science and history. Were these temples simply monuments of faith, or were they blueprints of a science humanity has yet to rediscover? Were they part of a larger network of sites, each holding pieces of a greater knowledge? As we move forward, the idea of forbidden knowledge will challenge us. It asks us to look beyond stone and sculpture, to question whether what we call mythology might in fact be encoded memory, and whether these temples were built not just to worship gods, but to safeguard secrets humanity is only beginning to glimpse. The greatest mystery of all may not lie within the temples themselves, but in the fate of those who built them. The civilizations responsible for these marvels vanished, leaving behind monuments that stand silent and unanswered. Across India, countless forgotten temples remain, testimony to rulers and architects who disappeared without trace. History books rarely explain why, and archaeology offers only fragments. The question remains, what happened to the builders of these sacred wonders? Some theories suggest that these civilizations were destroyed by war, conquest, or natural catastrophe. Earthquakes, floods, and invasions could have wiped away entire cities and cultures, leaving temples as the only enduring legacy. In certain cases, archaeological evidence shows abrupt abandonment, temples left unfinished, tools abandoned, inscriptions left incomplete. These gaps in history hint at sudden collapse rather than gradual decline. But there are darker possibilities. Some researchers propose deliberate erasure, powers that sought to destroy knowledge, to bury secrets within stone before they could be passed on. In this view, the disappearance of the builders was not accidental but intentional, part of a plan to protect or suppress knowledge too dangerous for the world. Could these temples be the last markers of civilizations deliberately erased from memory? Local traditions often speak of guardians and secret orders, keepers of knowledge who vanished with their kingdoms. Legends speak of hidden chambers sealed forever, of kings who vanished into mystery, and of knowledge passed down only in whispers. Such accounts may be metaphor, but they persist across cultures, suggesting a deeper truth hidden beneath myth. The mystery of disappearance is heightened by contradictions. Some sites show evidence of careful preservation, suggesting reverence rather than destruction. Others seem intentionally concealed, with access blocked or destroyed. This contrast deepens the intrigue. Were the builders' disappearances part of a grand design, leaving their temples as silent messages for future generations? The disappearance raises another question: what was lost with them? Language, technology, rituals, astronomical knowledge, and sacred sciences may have vanished along with their creators. The temples remain as the last echoes of those civilizations, but without their people, much of the meaning has been lost. As we stand before these silent monuments, we are left with more questions than answers. The disappearance of the builders transforms the temples into riddles, guardians of a forgotten past. This section sets the stage for exploring how modern discoveries continue to stir the mystery, keeping these forgotten worlds alive in both history and imagination. The forgotten temples of India are no longer silent. In recent decades, modern explorers, archaeologists, and even amateur seekers have brought new discoveries to light, but they have also stirred controversy. Excavations have revealed hidden chambers, inscriptions previously unseen, and architectural features that challenge established timelines. Yet each discovery also raises new questions, deepening the mystery rather than resolving it. Some modern discoveries seem almost miraculous. Hidden staircases uncovered beneath temple floors lead to chambers that were sealed for centuries. Intricate inscriptions, previously concealed by layers of stone or earth, have been revealed using advanced imaging technology. In certain sites, laser scanning has exposed alignment patterns and carvings invisible to the naked eye, suggesting knowledge of astronomy encoded across vast landscapes. These findings hint at a hidden intelligence built into the very structure of the temples, one that we are only beginning to decode. But such discoveries are not without controversy. Mainstream historians often dismiss alternative interpretations, citing lack of verifiable evidence or suggesting natural explanations. Yet fringe researchers argue that the true meaning of these temples has been deliberately hidden or ignored, suppressed by institutional academia. This tension between official science and alternative investigation fuels the allure of the mystery, making the temples not just archaeological sites, but battlegrounds of knowledge and interpretation. Recent technology has only deepened the intrigue. Ground-penetrating radar, satellite imagery, and 3D scanning have revealed anomalies, structures hidden underground, chambers filled with unexplained carvings, and alignments that seem impossible without advanced astronomical knowledge. Some sites show evidence of modifications over centuries, suggesting an ongoing tradition of guarding and altering knowledge according to changing times. Public fascination has grown as these discoveries circulate online. Documentaries, investigative reports, and amateur expeditions have brought global attention to the temples. Yet controversy remains, with skeptics arguing that much of what is claimed remains speculative. The mystery endures because the temples resist complete explanation, and because every new finding leads to yet another question rather than an answer. These modern investigations bring us closer to understanding, but they also remind us of the limits of human knowledge. The temples stand as living mysteries, sites where science meets controversy, and where the boundary between history and myth grows ever thinner. They challenge us to look deeper, to question not just the past, but the way we understand knowledge itself. As we approach the end of this journey, these modern discoveries leave us with a powerful truth: the mystery of India's forgotten temples is far from over. They continue to whisper to those who listen, urging us to seek what remains hidden in the shadows of history. As we stand at the end of this journey, the forgotten temples of India remain as elusive and powerful as ever. They are more than stone and sculpture, they are monuments to questions that refuse to be answered. They stand at the intersection of science and myth, faith and technology, history and mystery, a reminder that some truths may lie forever beyond our reach. Through centuries, these temples have witnessed the rise and fall of kingdoms, the shifting of civilizations, and the erasure of entire histories. They have survived invasions, natural disasters, and the slow erosion of time, carrying within them not only art and devotion but possibly knowledge too profound for the ages. Their hidden carvings, cosmic alignments, and precise craftsmanship suggest a story that is still incomplete, a story humanity has yet to fully understand. The tension between what we know and what we cannot explain is the heart of their mystery. Mainstream science offers explanations rooted in craftsmanship and tradition, yet anomalies persist that defy conventional logic. Myths and legends speak of lost kingdoms, secret knowledge, and hidden guardianship. Modern discoveries deepen the intrigue, but every new answer births yet another question. Perhaps this is why the temples endure, not merely as relics, but as living mysteries. They invite us to look beyond the surface, to question the narratives we accept, and to imagine the possibility that the past is far richer than history alone can tell. They challenge us to consider that knowledge can be hidden not just in books, but in stone, in geometry, in alignment with the stars. The forgotten temples of India are not simply monuments of the past, they are invitations to wonder. They remind us that history is not fixed, but a living mystery waiting to be explored. Whether they are the remnants of lost kingdoms, guardians of forbidden knowledge, or monuments built with wisdom we have yet to comprehend, they continue to stand as timeless enigmas. Their silence is their call. And those who listen may find themselves on a path that leads not just to answers, but to deeper mysteries, ones that stretch beyond time itself.